So whenever you're engineering structural earth for adobe, cob, rammed earth, pretty much any other kind of earth building, usually your first step is going to be to sift the earth. When we're sifting the earth, we're getting rid of large stones, large hard clumps of dirt that we don't want in our mix, if there's any root material, and we're also just breaking the dirt up so it's nice and soft. So this is my design, and I think it's a pretty good compromise between functionality and simplicity. It's just 8 pieces of scrap wood, 2 pieces here. It has mesh on both sides. This is really nice because 2 people can sift on either side of it. And it's also really nice for a machine that's dumping onto it if you're digging up your structural earth with a excavator or some piece of earth moving equipment. It's pretty nice for the machine to just be able to dump right onto the top. So this is just 8 pieces of scrap wood. I used 2x6 for this one. I recommend using 2x6 if you have it. You can make this with 2x4s, but if you have scrap 2x6 available, it just makes a really hefty construction. 2 pieces on the side like this, secured with 2 screws right here. I've cut the bottoms at 45 degrees. This is a 45-degree angle. I find that 45 degrees is a perfect angle at 1/2 inch and 1/4 inch at least. There's 2 pieces also on the bottom, and then another piece up here in the middle. And there's also a piece on the side here. Keeps the sifter spread apart, and it also, so you can knock it over on its side and then get up underneath sifter and lift it and carry it on your shoulder. Now this is a 1/2 inch mesh on this one, and I've just secured it here with some roofing screws that have a flat bottom, so it's good for holding on a mesh like this. This is my favorite way to do it. It's easy to take apart, and there's not any extra pieces of wood over top or anything like that. Just really simple. And the 1/2 inch mesh, leave you with and this material is gonna be great for your core wall, maybe a really thick scratch coat and pack out. Now our next sifter here is a smaller one. This is the exact same construction as the other one, except that I had wood screws. So you'll notice there's pieces of 1x that I had that were scrap pieces of 1x that I screwed on with the wood screws, because the wood screws have kind of a swoop on the bottom of them, so they're not gonna be able to hold in a mesh very well. So instead you put a piece of wood and put the screws through that, and then you can hold down the mesh that way if what you have handy is wood screws. So now we've gone down to a 1/4 inch. So this material is gonna be good for your scratch coats and your brown coat, which is the coat of earth right before your finish coat, where you get it nice to a nice flat, smooth-ish kind of surface. Or you could do a rough finish with this, but if you're trying to do a nice smooth finish, the rocks in here that are still, you know, 1/4 inch big are gonna be really annoying for you. So finally we have our last sifter, and now this sifter is gonna sift down to about 1/8 of an inch. It's actually got a very fine mesh, but you'll notice I have a 1/4 inch mesh still behind the 1/8 inch mesh. The very fine mesh is not very strong, and so as you're shoveling dirt on it over time, it's gonna sag, start to warp and kind of open up holes, and then it's not gonna work well anymore. But if you put a stronger 1/2 inch or 1/4 inch mesh behind it to support it, then it'll stay nice and tight. On this sifter, I used nails, which isn't my favorite because they're difficult to take apart. Like if I planned on taking this sifter apart ever, I definitely wouldn't do that. So this sifter is the exact same construction, except this side is extended up longer, and then I put the mesh just down one side. It's also, you can't really tell, but the angle is also a little bit steeper. I think I bumped this up to about a 50-degree angle, because I find that when you get down to this fine of a mesh, the earth kind of wants to grip onto it and not fall down. But if you just increase the angle a little bit, then it'll still slide off, no problem. Now this material is what you're gonna use for your fine, nice, smooth finished plasters. It's gonna give you a nice, silky, smooth finish. You'll also notice this is a lot taller than the other ones. That's because for the earth to sift through a mesh this fine, you're gonna have to probably throw it up several times to really get it all through. And it helps to have it longer for that, so you're not just shoveling the same dirt back up on it over and over again. You're gonna find 1/2 inch and 1/4 inch mesh at your hardware store in the garden department. The very fine mesh that we're using, that's about 1/8 of an inch, is actually not gonna be in the garden department. It's gonna be in door hardware. It's actually a replacement screen for a screen door. Thank you for watching my video. Please hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Digital transcripts of most of my videos, as well as some other goodies, are available on my Buy Me a Coffee donation page. Link is in the video description. If you think that sustainable development, earth building, and other appropriate technologies are as important as I do, then please consider donating whatever you can. It'll mean a lot to me and help me create more higher quality content. Thank you, have a great day, and remember to go outside and build something.